What's up, boys? It's Joe Cronin. This is JCS Gaming. Many of you guys may have come over from my wrestling channel. Thank you for that. If you like wrestling, make sure you check me out, Joe Cronin Show over there. This is where I'll be putting on most of my lengthy YouTube videos as far as, you know, gaming videos, lengthy gaming videos, stuff like that. Three important places to find me, and we're going to get into NHL 18 right now. I'm going to talk about what I thought about it, some of the progress maybe they've made over the years, what's going on right now, just to give you some info. Well, first let me tell you my Twitch is twitch.tv/JoeCroninJCS. Make sure to follow me over there on Twitch if you like what I'm doing. Follow my wrestling show. If you hate wrestling, then screw it. Just sub here to me, JCS Gaming. First of all, I'm 33 years old, so I've been playing NHL. I mean, you can't understand the excitement of when I was like 10 or whatever I was when the first NHL came out. I probably got into it that same year. You know, the game settings are different. Like, you can set this on arcade. A lot of people didn't know that, and they were like, oh, it got so stupid and arcadey. But, you know, I think that's the default thing. I think for the 3-on-3 online stuff, that might be how they're set up. I think game settings is where to go. I kind of forget now. Yeah, so you can go full sim or arcade style, but I don't know if that actually changes the play. I go action camera. I know a lot of people, that's always like one of the top things. Like, dude, what are you doing? Turn your camera off and change it, man, or whatever the hell. But I just love action camera. I mean, I do like the old school camera of the above version, you know, the overlook or the classic look, I guess. But everything just looks like little figures to me throwing the puck around, and I don't like that. I like the idea of feeling like I'm actually in the game. And I want to turn the on-ice trainer off, too. But, yeah, I want to feel like I'm more in the game and seeing the game that way. And it's, I don't know, I just, why does this always, all this stuff always comes up no matter what you do? So I'll just try to turn it off now. But I just like the action camera. This year they tilted it a little bit. So, you know that issue where you always couldn't see up ice sometimes and you just had to kind of like guess where you were? It seems like they got rid of that, or at least it seems like they fixed that, rather, where they tilted the camera just slightly a little bit. Let's get right into the gameplay, though. Let's get. I hate when people say that. Let's get right into it. We didn't get right into it. We babbled for like 3 minutes first. People do that all the time. Like, let's get right into this. Now, if they say that the first thing off in the video, then okay. But unless you did that, then you didn't get right into it. So let's just talk about the last 3 years. I mean, it's kind of pissed me off. And by the way, the announcing in this, at least the 3-on-3, the announcer, it's like somebody was playing NBA Jam like way too much. They were like, we are going to do NBA Jam hockey style. Kind of reminiscent a little bit of that arcade game that came out for 360 a while back, that hockey arcade version. I forget what they called that, but I loved it. Everyone kind of did for a while. I'm surprised they didn't do more of those or come out with another one. You got to be spot on in this. Look at, oh my God. So you can see that the 3-on-3 is set up like it's kind of like a fun atmosphere. The boards, you know, all the lights on all the boards. It's very weird though, because sometimes I go to pass it back to the D and it just throws me off. I don't know, like there's something about this that I like, but I also hate. Oh, Ower's back. Tip it in. Couldn't do it. But yeah, because it's one of those things, it's like it is fun to play the open ice 3-on-3, but after a little while, you know, you kind of wish that there was a defense to pass to. So I'm glad that there's other options in the game. And that's what I'll say about this game this year. Is this year, I believe, unless they eliminated some things that I'm unaware of, this year, oh my God, how'd that not go in? 2 posts, no goal. By the way, Doc Emmerich, I believe they added a Doc Emmerich call to the game this year, where he yells score, and he sounds like a freaking maniac. I mean, when someone scores sometimes, Doc Emmerich is just like, scores! Like, he's like out of his mind. I've never heard this goal call from him before. But it's ridiculous. Uh-oh. Missed wide. Now, there's some... I noticed that leap, like jumping up in the air with the puck, that tends to work a little bit better than it's ever worked before. Usually you just lose it right away, but you can see, like, you can do this, and it tends to work better. You see that? Bam! Score. Tends to work a little bit better than in previous years. And that was a money puck, I believe. They call something like a money puck or a doubler puck. And basically when you score 1 goal, it counts as 2, which I don't know if I'm really a big fan of that either. But as far as the mechanics go, everything is a little bit more sped up, a little bit more solid to the ground. Oh, they scored back. Now, when you go into your, hockey league and stuff like that, you have the option as a club or whatever as playing. You can play 3-on-3 or you can play the 6-on-6. And you actually have an option to select we don't care either way. So you could get a game that's a 3-on-3 and then you could get a game with defense. I kind of like that option because as long as you don't just keep getting the same type game, I like the variety aspect of it. But yeah, I do. Sometimes it is a little awkward not having the D, but I think people are going to actually overall like this. The game, as far as the game, they seems they buffed everyone's stats up a little bit. So, in previous years, it's been hard to play. Everyone's kind of been a low level. If you guys remember back in, before the game came to Xbox One, on the 360, it was fun building up your stats throughout the year or just buying them all at the beginning of the year like a lot of people did. But then you built up your player. I do miss that. I miss the goal of building up your player and things like that. And I wish that could somehow come back in a way. Right now, everything is just cookie cutter and choose your cookie cutter build or whatever you want. But I guess it allows for balance and more fairness in the game, so I get that as far as fairness goes. But what they did this year was they buffed the stats a little bit. So you can see everything's moving a little bit faster than it usually does, slightly faster. It's a little bit more controlled. The puck does sometimes... It acts a little bit more realistic a lot of times, and then there's some things that don't act as realistic. The puck tends to stick to your stick a lot easier in many cases. It seems like you can accept almost any pass, but it seems like passes are a little bit more manual. So when you'll have to be careful with where you're passing the puck because it is a little bit more manual than it was before. Where you got auto pass, but everybody, you play with manual pass. And you'll see this if I can get it back there. See that? I tried to drop that back to the middle, and I missed my target because I didn't quite put the thumbstick on the right way. And in previous years, it would go there. This year, it's not going that way. The skaters are able to pivot a little bit easier, back and forth here, than in previous years. They're also able, I believe... Everything in this game, to me, right now, is a little bit more set for, a breakout. So... Where in previous years, sometimes you'd have some trouble getting up the ice with everybody. This year, it's kind of set up for a breakout. See that, how he sped away there? Offense kind of gets that advantage, I want to say. And see that deke right there? I lost the puck. You can't just be going blasting ahead and deking like that. You actually have to come to a slowdown or a stop to deke around that way. You can't just be going full sprint and deke like that. And so, it's just like every NHL game, 17, 16, 15, 14, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, going all the way back. Where every year, a couple things seem to improve, and maybe a few things will take a step back, and you'll notice that. And one of the things is the passing and the breakout ability. It looks like they made the defense a little bit better, in previous years. Obviously defense had been awful, but I've already found a few ways to sort of just get around people, and one of those ways, like I said, the defense is jumping up in the air. Look at this breakout. This game is made for breakouts. Look at this. Look at that. I should have had a goal right there, wide open. It's less set for especially 3-on-3 for the passing around. You tend to not want to do it as much. You just want to go right here. I just want to break through this guy. I don't want to pass it to anyone. I just want to go to the net. And I part of me doesn't like that because I like the idea of passing it around and having to take a shot from the point and maybe tip it in, something like that. And here we go. Now I'm going to jump up in the air. And look at that. That time actually someone got a stick on it, but I've had great success with that. There's the breakout right there. They just want to break out every time. I know it's 3-on-3 hockey, but left the guy open in front of the net. But fairly smooth. There's always that glitch too at the beginning, but we're looking at, beta stuff, so hopefully that will be worked. I believe that will be worked out at the beginning. I also had a little bit of a chance right here where you walk right in and you score right away just by firing every time on the net, and they look like they cleared that up. That was an issue that was going on for a while. Probably 7 out of 10 times I could just start the period or start the, the next rush after somebody scores by just kind of walking in and firing it on the empty spot of the net. The goalie would seemingly leave it open every time. But they, I think they fixed it because I haven't seen that come up. Here we go as a breakaway. Let's see what it looks like. Can you do that curl and drag thing? Nope. See that step over? You're not able to do that sort of glitch goal that was going on in the last year's game, going right to the net and doing that curl and drag across to backhand it in easily for almost like a layup goal. You see that a lot. That was something that was like a very big concern for a lot of people. Unfortunately, it's how I scored a lot, but not a ton. I mean, I don't really even like doing glitchy stuff a lot. But you know, you'd get it. You know, you'd have the breakaway and you'd be desperate and you'd do it. You know, if it's there, you know, you're gonna use it. It's a game, and unfortunately, that was used a lot last year, and so it looks like they've cleared that up because you can't really. I don't think you can do it. I've been trying to do it, and you just can't do the curl and drag glitch goal. There's no icing here on the 3-on-3. Oh, by the way, if you commit a penalty on the 3... Okay, let's try this. There we go. Oh, couldn't do it. If you get a penalty on the 3-on-3s, basically what happens is you just get a penalty shot automatically every time, which that would be... I found that a little frustrating earlier because I just kept committing penalties. I kept accidentally slashing somebody, and it was like every time I got there was a penalty shot. But hey, look at this guy riding me. See that computer? Much better AI. See how aggressive the computer is? Computer was never like that last year. It was just, look at that. They're very, very, they're hunting the puck. Now, I don't know if they'll stay that way on club when you're playing with the 6-on-6. I haven't been able to test that out yet. But it seems like they will be. It seems like the AI has been improved, or is at least more aggressive than in previous years. We'll see if, I mean, you know, with time we'll find out, you know, are there flaws, you know, are there things you can do? Let's see, curl around here. Cut through, and I couldn't do that either. Look at that sidestep that guy just made. They're really looking for that tic-tac-toe play or that pass across. Here comes the rush now. Look at that. Ridiculous. But overall, it moves a little bit more. I feel like a little bit sometimes like not as smooth, but I mean it looks smooth. Everything is cool, but the players are a little more. They're faster. It almost not like you're skating on ice. Almost like you're kind of rollerblading. That's how I would describe it. It feels like the guys are rollerblading as opposed to skating on the ice. But you know, if that gets better control and a sort of a buff in the cookie cutter stats that we're used to, then I'm pretty happy with that. What I can do right now is I can try to go into a drop-in game, see if we can get that, but I'll probably do another video on that later. But as for right now, I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing. That 3-on-3 here is more, this is more of an arcade style. When you go back into drop-ins or when you go back into Hockey League, you know, it is more of the traditional style that we're all used to. But with the stats, again, a little bit buffed so that it's, I think, a little bit more fun to play because of that. I enjoyed playing earlier. Passing, again, it seems like passes are caught much more easily. Is that a word? Much more easilier. Passes are able to be accepted more easy than they were before. It feels like you're throwing it like on a zip on a rope, like right to the guy. It's, I think, less accurate passing wise. It's less accurate, but accepting the pass is much easier. It's like your guy has a force field that just sucks in the puck. There are some times, though, where there's like a realistic bounce with the puck or something like that, where it will bounce over the stick, and you know, you can actually, your guy will try to slap the puck down, and he may corral it and he may not. But it's more realistic. It only does that if there's a reason, like somebody hit someone's skate, or you know, you were turning hard as you got the pass. But most of the time, accepting the pass is definitely easier than before. And I forget what they used to call that stat in NHL back in, you know, 14 and 13 and stuff like that. I think maybe it was awareness or something like that. I don't remember what it was exactly. Stick handling, maybe. I forget what it went under. But that is definitely up. Passing directionally is definitely more manual than it was. You have the ability to kind of throw it anywhere. which makes it a little tougher because before you kind of memorize the spots where to push it, where to bounce it off the boards to people. But now it is way more manual, so you'll notice that, I think, too. But overall, I like this improvement of the game. I know that every year it's just like a patch or something. It's like we pay for a $60 patch to the game. But so far, I think I enjoy this. Like, it's slightly better than last year, I think. And I think because of some of these new games, like the 3-on-3 and stuff like that, that will make it more enjoyable for people too. But, you know, it is your typical, you know, patch from the last year's game. But I think it's more this year than it was. Like, the difference between 15 and 14, or rather, what are we talking about? Jesus, this is 18. The difference between 17 and 16 versus the difference between 18 is definitely there's a difference. Where maybe between 17 and 16 you felt there wasn't much of a change. There is a slight change here. Goalies are still crappy. Like, it's still the same goalie mechanics. It's not the 360 mechanics. The 360 was so great for goalies. You could move so much easier. Did you get that? You can move so much easier in the 360 one. And it was way funner to play goalie, at least for me, definitely. And last year playing goalie, it was like you're stuck in cement playing goalie last year. Now, because everybody else got a buff, the goalie got a buff too, got a little pickup. So the goalie's faster as well. So it is easier now to navigate and use your goalie slightly because he moves a little quicker as opposed to last year where it felt like he was moving in quicksand and cement, and it's still goofy and it's still not what the old goalie was, which was great, but it's definitely a slight improvement over last year's goalie and the year before. So that's good news. My only sadness is that they didn't fix goalies a little more because, man, are they bad. At least to me they are. If you didn't play 15, 14, 13, you know, if you didn't play like 14, 13, 12, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you played, you know, 2013, 2012 NHL, you know how good the goalies were. Or even the one they released that jerk-off one from 2015, I want to say. And that one was, you know, just like a mixer or some, you know, it was a cash grab for EA Sports. But, you know, the goalie was great in that too. So, guys, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. What are you looking forward to in NHL? And by the way, I plan on doing more of these videos daily on NHL 18 as far as card packs, HUT, you know, what's going to happen, what are my polls, what's going on the auction house, what's selling, what's not, some gameplay we've seen. Are there glitches? What type of glitches? What type of exploits? What type of gameplay? What are we seeing? Are there complaints? Are there new exploits? You know, so many different things to talk about, and I'm going to bring it to you guys here. If you guys like my channel, then heads up, I'm going to be doing a lot of NHL, Halo, maybe Destiny 2, and Diablo 3. So possibly some Hearthstone as well. So right now, those are the games I'm focused on, as well as perhaps some other ones too. And if we have suggestions for those, please let me know in the comments and other places, and I'll work on those as well. If you guys want to support me on Patreon, my other Patreon is there. It's patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Over there, I really do this sports show, and I cover pro wrestling, which, you know, is my channel with 50,000 subs. But I'd love to see this gaming channel get up to 50,000 subs. I don't know if it's gonna or what's gonna happen. YouTube is in just a crap hole right now. But any support you guys want to give me, feel free to drop it on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. This is JCS Gaming, guys. More to come. What do you think of NHL 18 so far? If you're playing the beta, let me know if you're able to get access to the beta. I got a friend to give me access to the beta. Don't know. The other night I only saw 50 people playing. Today I saw 400 people playing. So I assume this is not a widespread beta. Not a lot of people got the beta or applied for it, or I don't know. So let me know what you guys think down below again. And if you have questions for me, you can find me on Twitter at Joe Cronin Show at Joe Cronin JCS on Twitter. And again, my Twitch is twitch.tv/Joe Cronin JCS. If you can't tell, it's 5 in the morning or 4 in the morning, and I can't speak apparently when it's that late. But I hope this gave you some info and you got a good look at what NHL 3-on-3 is all about. More to come. Goodbye. some info. Well, first, let me tell you my Twitch is twitch.tv/JoeCroninJCS. Make sure to follow me over there on Twitch if you like what I'm doing. Follow my wrestling show. If you hate wrestling, then screw it. Just sub here to me, JCS Gaming. First of all, I'm 33 years old, so I've been playing NHL. I mean, you can't understand the excitement of when I was like 10 or whatever I was when the first NHL came out. I probably got into it that same year. You know, the game settings are different. Like, you can set this on arcade. A lot of people didn't know that, and they were like, oh, that's classic look, I guess. But everything just looks like little figures to me throwing the puck around, and I don't like that. I like the idea of feeling like I'm actually in the game. And I want to turn the on-ice trainer off, too. But, yeah, I want to feel like I'm more in the game and seeing the game that way. And it's, I don't know, I just, why does this always, all this stuff always comes up no matter what you do? So I'll just try to turn it off now. But I just like the action camera. This year they tilted it a little bit. So, you know that... What's up, boys? It's Joe Cronin. This is JCS Gaming. Many of you guys may have come over from my wrestling channel. Thank you for that. If you like wrestling, make sure you check me out, Joe Cronin Show over there. This is where I'll be putting on most of my lengthy YouTube videos as far as, you know, gaming videos, lengthy gaming videos, stuff like that. 3 important places to find me, and we're going to get into NHL 18 right now. I'm going to talk about what I thought about it, some of the progress maybe they've made over the years, what's going on right now, just to give you some, so stupid and arcadey, but, you know, I think that's the default thing. I think for the 3-on-3 online stuff, that might be how they're set up. I think game settings is where to go. I kind of forget now. Yeah, so you can go full sim or arcade style, but I don't know if that actually changes the play. I go action camera. I know a lot of people, that's always like one of the top things, like, dude, what are you doing? Turn your camera off and change it, man, or whatever the hell. But I just love action camera. I mean, I do like the old school camera of the above version, you know, the overlook, or the issue where you always couldn't see up ice sometimes and you just had to kind of like guess where you were. It seems like they got rid of that, or at least it seems like they fixed that, rather, where they tilted the camera just slightly a little bit. Let's get right into the gameplay, though. Let's get... I hate when people say that. Let's get right into it. We didn't get right into it. We babbled for like 3 minutes first. People do that all the time. Like, let's get right into this. Now, if they say that the first thing off in the video, then okay. But unless you did that, then you didn't get right into it. So, let's just talk about the last 3 years. I mean, it's really... It's kind of pissed